welcome to SVGTV News for Friday, August 15, 2025. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. The Caribbean Examinations Council (CXC) has announced a 3% increase in the number of students achieving passes in 5 or more subjects in the 2025 Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate (CSEC) examinations. Speaking at the official release of the preliminary results in the Cayman Islands today, CXC Registrar and CEO Dr. Wayne Wesley revealed that this increase brings the total to 44%, representing approximately 17,800 students. According to Dr. Wesley, these students are considered ready for university admission or employment opportunities.
Last year, I reported that 41% of those students who wrote 5 subjects or more actually achieved 5 subjects, including maths and English. I'm delighted to say this year that that number has moved forward to 44%. So 3% increase in the number of students who have now received 5 subjects, including mathematics and English, which is the benchmark that determines whether or not a student can be gainfully employed or matriculate into university. That is significant because every time a child leaves school without maths or English, they suffer underemployment and they suffer from not being able to matriculate. So the fact that that number has moved by 3% is a good sign. That means we're moving in the right direction. And it also means that more persons are doing better than before.
Dr. Wesley also commended participating countries for implementing literacy and numeracy programs, which he credited as key contributors to this year's improved results. However, he acknowledged that performance in mathematics and English still falls short of expectations. To address these ongoing challenges, Dr. Wesley announced that the pilot of the Caribbean Targeted Education Certificate (CTEC) will begin in September. The new initiative aims to modularize the mathematics and English syllabuses to improve accessibility and outcomes in these core subjects.
We have developed and modularized the English syllabus and the math syllabus in 3 modules. And those new syllabuses will be placed in the school system come September, starting this September. And I'm pleased to also say that we are starting the pilot with 3,000 students across the region who will write that new form come May, June next year. Right across the region, 3,000 students across all member states. As a pilot, to make sure what we are doing, we learn from it, because we believe in research to inform proper policy decision making. And this pilot will provide us with the requisite information for us to better that product as we roll it out across the region.
Director of Operations at CXC, Dr. Nicole Manning, reported a notable increase in the pass rates for both mathematics and English in this year's CSEC examinations, particularly in the number of students receiving grade 1s. Dr. Manning, who presented a subject-by-subject breakdown, noted that special attention was given to analyzing results in these 2 core areas due to their significance for academic and career readiness.
For English A being English A and math being a major mover, we always do a deep dive here, and you're seeing English being the highest over the last 3 years and very good grades for grade 1. For mathematics, consistency with 2023 on the grade 1, and an improvement in terms of the overall performance over last year. So in fact, it is our largest subject in terms of the cohort. Principles of business, 17% in terms of the overall regional performance, and 84% on the overall regional performance, but 17% on the grade 1s. For information technology, we are seeing a 5% increase in the overall performance. And of course, that could be well influenced from the grade 1, where we're seeing that 23%.
Dr. Manning also indicated that some students may currently see upgraded results. She explained that these are still being investigated due to irregularities identified in the submission or marking process.
Happy, but then we are seeing a spike again. So it is something we're encouraging the ministries of education to work with the our students, parents. Please, they should not even have the cell phone on them. You know, we beg and plead every year, but it is something that's important. I cannot end this component of my presentation without encouraging the ethical use and the whole notion of integrity as you engage in the process. We do have some questionable situations that we're investigating. Situations where you see candidates with the same mistakes on an exam. That tells you that something happened, correct? Okay. So these are things that we are still investigating. So when candidates do not see grades, please do not be surprised, because the notification is sent to our local registrars and they will be aware to let you know.
I confirm that its online results portal open at 1 p.m. today, giving students across the region, including those here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, access to their preliminary 2025 results. The New Democratic Party candidate for North Leeward, Dr. Kishore Shallow, has expressed concern over the absence of a gas station in the constituency. Speaking at a community meeting in Peterbirdell last evening, Dr. Shallow stated that establishing a gas station will be one of the priority projects for the area when the NDP forms the next government.
One of the things that has been, I can't understand it up to this day and age. I cannot understand that when I leave Pembroke, why there's absolutely no gas station on this side of the island. In 2025, we cannot have a gas station. We had one years ago in Chatibile. But you mean we can't get a gas station now? That is going to be a priority to this government, to the New Democratic Party government when we take office.
Dr. Shallow also highlighted the need for a designated bus stop in Peterbirdell to improve transportation infrastructure and convenience for residents.
I want to say that the people in North Leeward, you deserve better. You deserve better than what you have been given, the service that you have been given by this government for the last 25 years. Not only you deserve better, but you can do much better. I mean, a simple thing in Peterbirdell. You do not even have a bus stop. Louise, not even a bus stop is here in Peterbirdell, you know. So you have children going to school. If it rains, they have to be standing there. If the sun is out, they have to be standing there as well. Total neglect for the people of North Leeward. But you know why they do this? Because what they want is for you to come and beg them for everything. They want you to come and beg them every single living day. And what they do, they'll tell you to wait, and then close to the election time, then they come and they give you a little handout and think that is good enough for you to vote for them and re-elect them. But that is not happening again, Fuji.
Dr. Shallow addressed concerns for farmers who remain displaced due to the Richmond Quarry project. He assured that under an NDP administration, affected farmers will be allocated new lands to resume agricultural activities.
We are going to be offering you not only tools and training, very important, Neil. We are going to ensure that the people, the farmers, have a market. Because the only how you could incentivize farmers to go in the farm and plant and produce is by ensuring that they have markets to sell the produce. It's the only how. It is very basic. It is not rocket science. And we are going to do it. And I can tell you that the planning is already taking place so that this will be implemented swiftly once we get into office. We are going to ensure that those feeder roads to the farms are fixed, and also that the displaced farmers from Richmond, that they not only get the license or the lease, but they are going to get the lands soon. as we get into office, because that is of utmost important, and we are going to tackle that.
Shallow will be facing off with the incumbent Carlos James of the ruling Unity Labour Party in the upcoming general election, widely expected this year. In other local news now, we hear that the Ministry of Tourism, Civil Aviation, Sustainable Development and Culture has announced the successful completion of a stakeholder workshop aimed at promoting the ratification of the Land-Based Sources of Marine Pollution (LBS) Protocol in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The workshop was held on August 5, 2025 at the Methodist Church Hall. The ministry stated that the session brought together representatives from key government ministries and agencies to advance the country's commitment to protecting its marine environment and coastal ecosystems. The workshop was facilitated by Dr. Maurice Narcissus, Senior Research Officer at the Regional Activity Center Institute of Maritime Affairs. Online support was provided by Laverne Walker. According to the ministry, stakeholders at the workshop explored the critical connections between land-based human activities and marine pollution, with special emphasis on the protection of St. Vincent and the Grenadines coral reefs, mangroves, and seagrass beds. The workshop underscored the multiple benefits of ratifying the LBS protocol, including access to technical assistance and international support, capacity building and training opportunities, improve water quality, strengthen integrated coastal zone management. The ministry emphasized that this initiative reinforces St. Vincent and the Grenadines' dedication to preserving its marine heritage for future generations. It also supports sustainable tourism, fisheries, productivity, and the livelihoods of coastal communities. Now we hear that over the next couple of days, bands of moisture associated with Hurricane Aaron could trigger occasionally cloudy skies across St. Vincent and the Grenadines, with a few scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. This is according to a 72 hours outlook by the SVG Met Services, which says at 5 p.m. Hurricane Aaron, which is the first hurricane of the Atlantic hurricane season, was about 18.9 north, 57.6 west, and is expected to move near or just north of these islands over the weekend. It says wind directions could vary between southeasterly and southwesterly, with speeds less than 10 kilometers per hour and nearing calm, little or no cooling effect at times. By Saturday, wind speeds are likely to increase, with moderate fresh southerly winds associated with Hurricane Aaron crossing our islands. Sea conditions are slight in open water, with swells near west of our islands and near east of our islands. A temporary rise in swell heights can be expected by tonight, early Saturday, and during Sunday, nearing 1.0 meter or 3 feet west of our islands and 1.5 meter or 5 feet east of our islands. Small craft operators are asked to exercise caution, as fresh southerly winds and swells can be expected by Saturday night, early Sunday. During the forecast period, residents and motorists in areas prone to flash flooding and landslides or near rivers and streams should exercise caution. The National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida, is forecasting that Hurricane Aaron will undergo a period of rapid intensification on its way to major hurricane status, with maximum sustained winds greater than 115 miles per hour. The 2025 Atlantic hurricane season continues through the end of November and is expected to peak over the next 4 weeks. The average first date of hurricane formation in the Atlantic basin is August 11th. As a result, Aaron is almost on target for a typical year. Dentist Dr. Brandon Richards emphasized the critical role of early dental care in children during his appearance on NBC Radio's face-to-face program this morning. Dr. Richards stressed that proper oral care should begin as early as 6 months of age, when a child's first teeth typically begin to emerge. He explained that maintaining a healthy mouth from infancy not only supports overall health but also helps children in becoming more comfortable with dental visits from a young age.
It's so important that we start to have our children visit the dentist early, because there are times when the things that we may consider normal are actually not as normal as we think. And the early visits help to let us know what is there, what should not be there, and how best we can ensure that the mouth is kept healthy and clean. So generally, if we start getting our kids to visit outside of those moments of pain, we get them to have a more friendly visit with the dentist. Because often what happens, their first introduction to the dentist is often a scary one because they come already in pain and discomfort. And so it's not the best experience for them, though we try to make them as comfortable as we can. But if they can be brought way early up before there's any pain, before there are any perceivable problems, just for checkup, it's always best.
Regular visits allow dental professionals to monitor oral development, offer guidance, and prevent common issues like cavities and gum disease.
I would say at least within the first 6 months of having been born, there are times when the child, though he or she may not have teeth within that time, might just need to be checked to see if there's any neonatal tooth that might be hanging there, or anything within the oral cavity that might require some form of soft treatment, just to make sure that the mouth is as healthy as it should be. Right? So I would suggest before teeth begin erupting, which is generally at 6 months, you should bring the baby along, because there might be nutritional guidance that we might need to reinforce with the mother in terms of the continuance of proper breastfeeding, which is important, because it is in those formative period that the child really needs all of the nutrients possible, and it's within the first 6 months of life that they will be best breastfed.
Right.
So we want to ensure that the mother is doing that, and that is going to help the child to continue to have healthy bones and teeth when they start to.
Dr. Richards also highlighted the important role parents play in fostering good oral hygiene habits at home. He encouraged parents to lead by example by demonstrating proper brushing techniques and maintaining their own dental health. He said children need time to get comfortable with their toothbrush and the idea of cleaning their teeth, noting that making it a positive and familiar experience from early on can set the foundation for a lifetime of good oral hygiene. However, he cautioned parents against being overly forceful or demanding, stressing the importance of patience and encouragement.
I think sometimes they become a bit demanding, and one of the mistakes might be that they expect them to brush all by themselves. Children at that age would not have developed the full dexterity to brush. So it's important that at some points of the day, especially before bedtime, that the parent takes over the brushing, right? Because a 1-year-old child is not going to know how to really brush properly. But they should be given a soft toothbrush. That's the thing. They should be allowed to play with the toothbrush, to feel it out, to swirl it around in the mouth, even if they're not doing it correctly. But if they start practicing brushing, they actually form a good habit of brushing, right? And that good habit becomes a good behavior and gives way to good character. Because if the child starts brushing early, it means that as they continue to develop more teeth, they'll be able to brush them better.
Dr. Richards' message aligns with the recommendations from dental health authorities such as the American Dental Association and the World Health Organization, which emphasize early intervention as key to preventing dental problems later in life. The National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission, NTRC, today held a closing ceremony for the barley component of its annual My App Summer program. This session marked the third and final installment of the 2025 edition of the program, which has been held in 3 locations across the country. Eustacia Walter, Public Relations Officer at the NTRC, emphasized that a key part of the Commission's mission is to ensure that opportunities for technological development are inclusive and accessible to students nationwide.
In line with this, we expanded the program this year from 2 sessions to 3, allowing us to engage 60 students in total, with the first session of this year being on the Grenadine Island of Canouan, and the second session was held at the St. Vincent Grammar School. This current session at the Barley Secondary School began on August 4th, bringing together 17 students who over the past 2 weeks have been introduced to the world of coding and robotics using the Microbit, a pocket-sized computer designed to teach programming. They also designed and programmed robots, gaining hands-on experience in making them respond to commands, a true immersion of technology and innovation. An exciting addition this year is the opportunity for each student's valedictorian to participate in the newly introduced robotics category of the 2025 iCode 784 competition, scheduled for October 22nd, 2025. The valedictorian of the Barley program will team up with another student from their school to present at the finals. The same opportunity has already been extended to Dimitri Kagari, the valedictorian of Kanawan, and Kaya Charles, the valedictorian of Kingston program.
Dini Chelaso, instructor for the Barley program, expressed hope that students gain not only technical skills but also meaningful life lessons during the 2-week session held at the Barley Secondary School.
Over the past 2 weeks, I've had the opportunity to watch bright, curious, some troublesome, some talkative minds dive into the world of technology. But no matter their background, they have shown a lot of initiative towards the world of technology, and I'm very grateful that they have had the opportunity to interact with what the NTRC had to offer with them this year. While I was in Taiwan, I was contacted to do this program, and one thing that got through my mind was that I've been away so far, I've been away so long, and I don't know what the kids here are like now. So how do I engage them? You know, how do I bridge my world with their world? And one that we've carried forward is by integrating our life lessons into our classes. So I remember on the very first day, and unfortunately I've had to repeat it over and over, but one of the things that I have repeated to you guys is that in dealing with this world of technology, with IT, computer science, STEM, it is not really about having knowledge solely in this area, but rather about having a little bit of maths, a little bit of English, and some common sense, all right? So from that very first day, I could see the determination in their faces. Some determination to be engaged with the work, some determination to play games after they finish their tasks. However, I'm very grateful that I have the opportunity to share these past 2 weeks with you guys.
The MyApp Summer Program continues to be a flagship initiative of the NTRC, aimed at empowering young people through ICT education, creativity, and innovation.